Hi, everybody. This is Bullseye Handicapping. Finally came to the moment of truth. Um, Breeders' Cup, Preakness Stakes is here. And I wanted to go. I got up at 4:30 and got my lights on up there. It's, of course, to show, um, how a horseplayer's being is. They're totally on fire. Um, some players have been playing for, all day yesterday, Thursday, Wednesday, and some people even Monday and Tuesday. So, because sports player has to find a reason to play a race. Bullseye handicapping is about finding reasons not to play a race and only to play on Saturdays, prom day. No more going to the dances like Friday and other days during the week. And it took me about 6 years to do that. So this is what I normally would be doing is handicapping. But when I get up, I would be handicapping, watching shows, and then I would detach. And that's what I'm going to show today. I would detach and dance for a little while, or have some breakfast and do other things. And I wanted to talk to people about that, in the sense of, how you plan your day. And how do you feel from yesterday's playing? And I wanted to show, one of the horse players an example of all of us, the best horse racing show ever. That show, they've been on for about 8 years. I probably watched it for about 4 or 5. And the reason I watch is because of the fact that it reminds me of what I don't want to do. He's successful in that because, that's his mojo. But like all of us, that mojo, being a horse player, very difficult to be one of the 15% winners. And he claims he's one of the 15% winners. And the fact that he's playing for 9 years, at least, 9 years his shows have been on. So he must be doing pretty good. But this example is an example of not only him, but all of us, not knowing when to stop, being totally out of control, and then going on tilt. And it's, to go through going on tilt is probably the worst experience a horse play can go through. We've all been through it. And not only have we all been through it once, we've all been through it many, many times. I was saying, like, when he was playing on Thursday, he didn't understand that in his subconscious that he was going into the next day, all beat up. He probably should have, went to the hospital. Instead, he decided to go back into the ring with Mike Tyson and play more races. And I'll show that a little bit maybe later if I can. Just to remind us that this game is insane. Playing the races is insane, and we kind of got to get that, but we don't, because we have fat guy appetites where I want more, and we're just totally out of control. And unfortunately, that's our downfall. Our downfall is the fact that we're totally out of control. But so I just wanted to, go live today to chronicle it, so to speak, right? And one of the things I do throughout the day is I'll be dancing and listening to music, just to relax. And what I'm trying to, give Horseplayer a sense of is that you know spend your time handicapping, spend your time doing your mojo, but then detach. That pause you do throughout the day today, where you get away from the racing form. Don't stay there for the total 8 hours. Don't, especially if you were playing yesterday like this guy at the shakeup and everybody else, or Thursday, or Thursday and Wednesday. So you're talking about like 20 races, 20 rounds with Mike Tyson already. It's total insanity. You're not made out of iron. You're not a machine. You're a person. There's gonna be an effect, and that effect, the subconscious effect from a negative day, you're not aware of that. You think everything's fine. You're not aware of that. But the truth of the matter is that you're fucked up. You lose three races, and you're messed up. So, like the guy at Shaker Pete, in the beginning of the day, he was fine. Jab, and he's a boxer, so he's fine. He just jabbed and he moved, he dodged the race, But once he went in, he went in all in. So I just wanted people to understand that the best thing you can do for yourself as a handicapper today is to know when to detach, to know when to pass a race. If you get a bad beat, like yesterday at Shaker Pete, put the wrong horse. He put the wrong horse in because he was rushing or was tired, or I don't know how you're tired or you're rushing in the game. That's why I'm only playing the Preakness. There's no rush. I already have all the bets in and saved. I already put the advanced investments in. There's no anxiety. There's no rushing. There's no, I got to do this, or I got to do this. So there's no multiple tracks. I'm not playing two different tracks. I'm not playing pick fives. I'm not playing pick fours. I'm not worried about biases or looking at other races. I'm all locked in already. I'm locked in just to play the Preakness. I got my little odds board, this is what I call a crystal clear clarity board. Right? My crystal clear clarity board, and basically it's showing, the horses, and where I can't do this. There you go. So there you go. You got it to 1, right? And that's the 9, the 10, the 12, 6. Those are the horses that everybody's talking about, right? And now other horses have been getting involved. People, like the 2-horse. This is my odds board. 2-horse. I don't see the odds board. The 2 as one of the contenders, so I don't have him as a contender. I have him there as a next type. So these horses here are the ones that most people are going to be putting in their pick 3s and their pick 4s, right? That would be the 1, 9, 6, and 12. So crystal clear clarity board, and then these horses here are the horses that are going to be, priced horses, not the 2, but the 5, 7, 13, 14. And then this 3, 4, 11, and 8, those horses are completely dismissed by most players. So I'm not looking at the racing form anymore. I'm just looking at the way you guys are looking at the race, right? And again, this side would be, there you go, the 1, 9, 10, 12, 6. And that's changed, somewhat. But That's what I'm looking. I'm not looking at time form anymore. I'm not looking at the thoroughbred sheets. Um, and I'm probably not even going to be looking at the. Uh, I'm probably not even going to be looking at the uh, thoroughbred sheets or the Ragison sheets. I got them. The one thing I did get out of the thoroughbred sheets that I found as hitting gold, many layers beyond the obvious, was the fact that Jeremiah Englehart, he has stats at Laurel, which you don't see. And I didn't know. I never knew that he even brought horses to Laurel, so he knows the track. So he's one of the horses that I'm interested in. He's the 14. Um, so that was a golden nugget that I liked. I pretty much knew the numbers already because I've been following some of these horses. Like obviously the 10 horse when he ran that huge race, the 9 horse Iron, the 9 horse Chad Brown's horse. His pattern. I knew that from when he went in the Wood Memorial. The 1 horse. He has many things that make you excited and a lot of narratives that could wow you into his camp, especially because of the fact that he has home court advantage. So I'm with the mojo of everybody else pretty much, and I don't like Oselli coming back in 2 weeks. So I don't. That's why I got him moved out of the contender slot, so to speak. I don't. Again, then I go right to the paper. I'm not going to look at the race book. Just go right to the paper. Yeah. So the 6 is Honcho, right? With Ortiz, 9-1. The 2 is Oselli, right? I don't know who the 12 is. Also, the 5 horse, Gargan horse. That horse is talking to me pretty much. The 7 really hasn't been talking to me. The 3, 4, 11, and 8, nothing, they're dismissed. But they really seem to be, don't even belong in the race, so to speak. But I didn't think Oselli belonged in the race either. So, that's our game, the insanity of our game. It's just that a horse player comes up with a narrative, but the truth of the matter is it's just their narrative. So one of the things that I'm really happy about is that I'm not feeling any personal anxiety because I haven't played all week. I'm not handicapping right now to find a race to play before the Breeders' Cup. I'm going to detach, in a little while, like what I'm on for just a little bit. 13 minutes just to say hello. And then just to introduce my next segment, which would be, going on tilt, watching somebody go on tilt for a minute. And it's just, it's the worst. It's the worst experience we can go through. And unfortunately, everybody goes through it. And not only do you go through it once, but you go through it many, many times. So I'm going to take a break and I'll be back.